Shalom, shalom. This is the Brothers of Bach coming back with another lesson. Lord willing, this will be edifying. All right. So let me get started by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elders, apostles. Double honors to my and salutation, salutation to the hopeful elect. Peace and blessing. All right. So this is another segment of Similitudes in the last days. And this is pertaining to Judges chapter 2 and chapter 3. So let's get into it. Lord willing, this will be edifying. So we'll start in Judges 2 and 1. And an angel of the Lord came up from Gilead to Bochim and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt and have brought you into the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. So the Lord will never disannul the promise that he made unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The covenant was made with and for the Hebrew Israelites, right? The house of Jacob, right? And especially the Israel of the Most High, because right now the 2/3, and we're gonna go into it. The 2/3, they deny and they forsake the Lord, and they break the covenant. They always turn back to the Lord and serve idols, and that's why the Lord punishes them, right? And that's why on this side they will have to be destroyed, you know. They'll have to be destroyed, and they will come back in the right mind of the kingdom, because it is written, all Israel shall be saved. Israel, the 2/3 that are going to be destroyed on this side, will be reincarnated through the loins of the elect, those that were delivered. All right, and that is how the Lord is going to keep his promise, keep his covenant, that he will save all Israel. Okay, so it says here in Judges 2 and 2, and ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of the land, that ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voices. Ye have this. Why have ye done this? When you read Judges 1, near the end, it tells you how all the tribes, when they got their inheritance, they allowed the heathens to live amongst them, right? They instead of utterly destroying them, breaking their altars, they allowed them to live with them, right? Some of them were too strong, but hey, we're 12 tribes, man. We could have asked. Of course, that was the will of the Lord, okay. But the Lord obeyed. The Lord commanded us to utterly destroy them, and I'm gonna go into it. All right. So it says here again, Judges 2 and 3. Wherefore also I said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be a thorn in your side, and their powers shall be a snare unto you. Okay. So because you left them, because you didn't destroy those heathens, you didn't destroy them from the face, you didn't utterly destroy them as the Lord commanded, they're going to be a stumbling block unto us, man. So it says here in Jeremiah 6 and 10, to whom shall I speak? I give warning that they may hear. Behold, their ears is uncircumcised. They cannot hearken. Behold, the words of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it. Right, that's the problem with Israel, man. Right, the Lord said that he has that obeying is better than sacrifice. That's the problem with Israel. So we're half-assed, man. We're stubborn and stiff-necked. We're a rebellious house. Right, the Lord told us to utterly destroy the inhabitants of the land of Canaan, and instead we let them live near us, amongst us. All right, and that's why the Lord said that there would be a stumbling block unto us. Okay, because our order was to destroy them. Again, that's as I did a lesson about it yesterday. That's an example of insubordination, not obeying the voice of the Lord, not exacting the proper order. Right? Okay. It says here in Jeremiah 7 and 25, since the day that the fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ears, but harden their neck, that they did worse than their fathers. Right? So ever since the day that we came out of Egypt, that each generation has been doing worse and worse, man. Right? Except for the elect, except for the 1/3, but the 2/3 they have been getting worse and worse. Right? It tells us in I believe in the letters of Paul, it says the evil man shall wax worse and worse. All right, so that's our people, and even the 2/3 and the rest of these people. These people are through, man. The heathens, starting with Esau, Edom, and we're seeing this and by the way the society is, man, by the wickedness and the evil that's being portrayed in this society, man. All right. So it says here, Jeremiah 7:27, therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. Thou shalt also call them, but they will not answer thee. But thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of the Lord their power, nor receiveth correction. Truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth. All right, and let's get into it. So it says here, and back to Judges 2:7, and the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of the Lord that he did for Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died being 110 years old. Jump to verse 10. And also all the generation gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation, right? Another generation, because when Israel was being led by Joshua, they hearkened unto the Lord, they obeyed the Lord. But then what did happen? Another generation after them, which knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which he did for Israel. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and served Baalim. They served Baalim. Balaam, Salakia. They served Baalim. For they forsook the Lord power of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed after the gods and the gods of the people. They followed after other gods and the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth. All right, so that's what our people did. And again, that goes into an example of insubordination, right? Because at the time when they were serving, at the time when they were walking with the prophets, who were walking with Joshua, and even the elders that outlived them, they were in their right mind. They were following after Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. They were serving him in truth and in spirit. But then it says here in Psalms 102, serve the Lord with gladness, come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord is the Most High, and it is he that had made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. And like we said, the sheep being easily swayed, easily guided, being very impressionable beings, impressionable animals, they need a shepherd, right? These sheep, they need a shepherd. And in a sense, Joshua and those elders, they were the shepherds, leading Israel the right way. But it says here in Matthew 26:31, then said Yahweh Shai unto them, all ye shall be ashamed because of me this day. It's like this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. Okay, so that's in a sense when the Lord put Joshua and those elders, he put them to sleep, meaning he brought them in. He took away their spirit and brought them to the spirit realm. Right, when the Most High deleted Joshua and these elders, the flock of Israel was scattered abroad to follow after vain idols. Okay, and again, let me see. Yeah. So and again, so as soon as the death of those shepherds, the Joshua and the elders that knew the acts of the Most High, passed away, Israel started going off. Right. Those are the sheep that were starting to be led, the sheep that were scattered abroad, in a sense. So it says here in Judges 2:14, and the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them unto the hands of the spoiler that spoiled them, and he sold them unto the hands of their enemies round about them, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemy. Wheresoever, give me a second, Israel. I believe there's a precept that I wanted to bring out. Yeah, okay, so a bit further. Okay, so it says here, Judges 2:14, and the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them unto the hands of the spoiler that he spoiled them, and he sold them unto the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. Whithersoever, they went out, the hands of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord had said, and as the Lord had sworn against them, that the Lord had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hands of those enemies, that out of the hands of those that spoiled them. So like, and yet they will not hearken unto their judges. You see the stubbornness and the rebellious mind of Israel. After still being delivered, after the Lord being merciful and sending judges to deliver them, they still remain rebellious. Okay, they still refuse to obey the voice of the Lord. Okay, so they went a whoring after other powers and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. It says here in Ezekiel 3:7, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Okay, so that's the mentality of Israel. They're stubborn, rebellious, and foolish. Okay, to do good, they have no understanding, but to do evil, they know how to do evil. They know how to roll backwards. They know how to, commit adultery. They know how to do all sorts of wickedness, man. You want to know how to do, you want to know how to join a gang, call it Jake and he'll tell you, man. You see? Call Jake and he'll explain you how to escape out of jail. He'll tell you everything you need to know when it comes to wickedness. But when it comes to righteousness, they know not. Okay? So it says here in Judges 2:18, and when the Lord, when the Lord saved them, they rebelled even more. They turned quickly against the Lord. Okay? You see, and that's the foolishness of the of Israel. That's the sickness of it all, man. Right? Because as it says, what? Our whole head is sick. Their whole head is sick, man. Jake is through, man. Even after being delivered, and that's the same thing that happened in Egypt. Even after seeing all those miracles, the 2/3 still were talking, murmuring against Moses, murmuring against the Lord, and talking shit, man. And that's why they had to be destroyed. And again, those are the same people back today, man. That generation that knew not the Lord, those are the people that are walking here, man. You see, those people, those are the 2/3 that are here among us, man. That made lies their refuge and made a covenant with death. Okay, because they know not Yahweh, but Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, it's not in their mind to serve him. So it says here, Judges 2:18, and when the Lord had raised unto them judges, then the Lord was with the judges and delivered them out of the hands of their enemy all the days of the judges, for it repented the Lord because of their groaning by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. It says here in Exodus 2:23, like I said in the beginning, as I read in the beginning, the Lord will never break his covenant. It says here, I said I will never break my covenant with you. So the Lord knows. The Lord will always protect his elect. The Lord will always protect those that fear and that cry upon him, man. So it says here, even when the 2/3 cry upon the Lord will hear, man, because we are his children. Even the insubordinate Israelites, when they turn back and cry upon the Lord hears them, man. That's the loving kindness and long suffering of the Lord, man. Okay. So it says here in Exodus 2:23, and it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto the Most High by reason of the bondage. And the Most High heard their groaning, and the Most High remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them. Right? So the Lord remembered that he made a promise unto our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that is why he raised up Moses to come and deliver us. He delivered by the hands of Moses, the Lord deliver us out of the house of bondage. And that's the same way, in the sense that the Lord rose up Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai will deliver us out of the hands of bondage. Okay, out of the house of bondage. Because what? The difference between those judges and Yahweh Shai is that those judges died. Those judges died, man. And when they died, like I said, the shepherd was smitten and the sheep were scattered abroad. But now Yahweh Shai will never die. Yahweh Shai died once on the cross, but he resurrected. And that is why after this, when Yahweh Shai comes back, we're not going to turn back to other powers, man. Because the whole world will know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is the true power that created heaven and earth, and he's the power that delivered us, man. All right. And even then, it even tells us that the law, statutes, and commandments is gonna be in our hearts, man, in our inward parts. So we're gonna be programmed to never go against the will of the Most High. Everything that we're gonna do is gonna be holy, man. Everything that's gonna, even what we do to these other heathens, putting them into slavery, putting them in subjection, putting them under our feet. That's all gonna be according to the will of the Most High, man. Okay. So it says here in Judges 2:19, and it came to pass when the judges was dead, and they that returned, so like it, and it came to pass when the judges was dead that they returned and corrupted themselves. Like I said, that's the difference between that time and the time to come. Yahweh Shai will not be killed again, man. Yahweh Shai already has immortality. Yahweh Shai has a spiritual powers, spiritual body, man. Yahweh Shai is not gonna Yahweh Shai passed from the corruptible to the incorruptible. So when he comes, he's gonna be here forevermore, and that's why the kingdom, even our kingdom, is gonna be forevermore. Okay, so there's not gonna, even then there's not gonna be death among Israel anymore, man. We're gonna be immortal as well. Okay, like I said, our kingdom is going to be everlasting. Right, so that's the difference between the judges of back then and Yahweh Shai now. Yahweh Shai will never die again, man. Yahweh Shai died, but rather Yahweh Shai rose up and lives forever. Okay, that's the difference. It says here, so that they returned and they corrupt themselves more than their fathers. You know, the evil men shall wax worse and worse. Okay, so they corrupted themselves more than their fathers in following other powers to serve them, and bowed themselves down unto them. They ceased not from their own doing, nor from their stubborn ways. You see the hard-heartedness of Israel. It says here in Ecclesiastes 1:9, the things which had been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So like I said, the spirits of the prophets are subject unto the prophets. The truth shall return unto them that practice in her. So if you're a righteous man in your past life, you'll be a righteous man now. But if you were a wicked man, forsaking the Lord in your past life, you'll be the same person coming back in the reincarnation. And that's why I said the 2/3 are back now. That is why the earth there's so much people on the earth right now, because the Lord wants to execute judgment. The Lord brought all these wicked people back to exalt judgment upon these people, and those that hearken unto the Lord will be delivered. Right? So there's nothing new under the sun, man. And now the Lord is gonna make his last the last scene of the movie. Well, maybe not the last scene, but the climax of the movie is coming, and that is why all these people are back to either to suffer judgment or to be delivered. Okay, so it says here in Judges 2:20, and the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he said, because this people had transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of that nation which Joshua left when he died. Okay, it says here in Judges 3:5, and the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And just like today, especially in America, Jake is surrounded by enemies. Just as back then, those Hamites, those heathens were surrounding Israel, man. We lived in our land, but we did not exterminate these people, as the Lord has told us to do, man. It says here in Lamentations 4:20, the breath of our nostrils, the anointing of the Lord was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathens, as we're doing here in America. In North America and South America, you know, especially North America, Slovakia, we're living among the heathens. Okay, because even if they took our lands, that all the we're surrounded, man. We're surrounded by all these other nations, man. Okay, and again, we're living under the shadow of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is the reason why we're still alive, man. Because if Esau Edom had his way, he would exterminate all the Israelites, you know. But because of the love, the mercy of the Lord, we're still standing. Okay, it said even we shall eat poison, but you know, but we shall eat the foul bread among the Gentiles. But even then, we're still here. The Lord is preserving us, man. We're living through faith, man. We're living through the mercy of the Lord amongst these heathens. Okay, so it says here in Psalm 17:8, keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Like I said, we're under the protection of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai as long as you're walking in the spirit, as long as you're walking in the faith, as long as you truly believe in this gospel, man. Okay? So it says here, keep me from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemy who compass me about. So those people, those Psalms 83, starting with Esau Edom, we are surrounded by our enemies, man. So the only reason, like I said before, that we're still alive is because the Lord is keeping us, man. The Lord has mercy upon us, and the Lord is protecting us. So it says here in Judges 3 and 6, and they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their powers. Right? So again, another example of insubordination. And you have to remember that generation, generation to generation, they were waxing worse and worse, doing worse than their fathers. Right? And that's another example of insubordination, because the Lord told us to teach the law, statutes, and commandments, and to read them every 7 years, so that those that did not see the works of the Lord might fear the power, might fear the Lord, and serve him in truth and sincerity. It says here in Deuteronomy 7 and 20, and when the Lord thy power shall deliver them before thee, meaning the enemies, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. That's the order that the Lord gave unto Israel. Go into the land and kill all these heathens, man. Destroy them, utterly destroy them. But again, Israel, being stiff-necked and hard-headed, did not do such a thing. Okay? So it says here, thou shalt make no covenants with them, nor shew mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriage with them. Thy daughter shalt thou not give unto his son, and nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me. They shall serve other powers. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, break down their images, cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. So that's the sickness of it all. The sickness that Israel has in his head. The whole head is sick, wanting to be equal to a people that we're above. The king does not want to deal with the king doesn't stoop himself down to the level of a peasant. We are kings. We are royalty. We are princes and princesses. Right? The house of Israel, the daughters of Jacob, we are princes and princesses. Okay? We are royalty. Why in your right mind, why in your sick mind and demented mind would you want to be equal with the heathen? That does not make sense. That's foolery. That's idiocy. Okay? It tells, and again, the Lord told us, do not make marriage with these people. Do not make covenants with these people. Destroy their altars. Destroy all these vain images. But what? Israel did not hearken. They refused to obey the voice of the Lord. They let these people live, and now they weren't left. They turned up. They went backwards. That's why I said these people are backwards. Okay, they went completely backwards. The Lord tells you something, and you do the exact opposite, man. And that's why, again, these people have to be destroyed for insubordination. Okay? The Lord precisely tells us, and I believe that was Moses telling them, when you get there, kill all of them. Kill all of them, destroy their idols, destroy their altars, destroy everything. Don't let these people live among you. Kill them, or else they're going to be a snare unto thee. But what Israel says, let me do my own way. Let me keep them alive. And that's why they were a stumbling block unto us, because we kept going into slavery. Because why? Because we forsook the Lord first off, and because of our disobedience. Okay? So it says here in Deuteronomy 4 and 8. So Deuteronomy 4 and 8. And what nation is there so great that had statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from me, thy heart, and all the days of thy life. So depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons. And again, that's the insubordination, even from those that believed in the Lord. They forgot to teach those things until the next generation. How could that be that there arose another generation that knew not the Lord? That shouldn't have been done, man. That's an error. We have failed. We have failed, and we have failed in a way that we did not teach our children, man. That's my conclusion. We should have taught our children, and our children should have taught their children. That's how it's supposed to go. Our inheritance is the fear of the Lord. That's our inheritance. The same way that you can inherit a piece of land, you can inherit some money from the bank. Our inheritance is the fear of the Lord, the keeping of the law, statutes, and commandments, the service of the Lord, man. To serve the Lord with truth, to serve the Lord with all your mind, all your heart, all your soul, man. That's our inheritance. That is what we give unto the next, unto our children and our children to their children. That is what we're supposed to do, man. So I don't understand. To me, it sounds foolish that there was a new generation that knew not the Lord, man. And again, that's the generation that we see today, man. The 2/3 of Israel, man, that know not the Lord and forsake to serve Him, man. Okay, turn away their hearts from the Lord, man. So it says here, especially the day that thou stoodest before the Lord in thy power in Horeb, when the Lord said unto thee, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live, and that they may teach their children. Okay, so that's the problem, man. We should have taught our children the fear of the Lord, man. That's a part of our heritage. That's a part of our culture. To teach our sons and daughters to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and to walk in the way of righteousness. And that's a way that we failed the Lord by not properly executing that commandment, because that was a commandment also, to teach the fear of the Lord unto our children. Okay, so it says here in Deuteronomy 31:10, and Moses commanded them, saying, at the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, in the Feast of Tabernacles, when all Israel is come to appear before the Lord thy power in the place which he shall choose, thou shalt read the law before all Israel in their hearing. So every 7 years, the children of Israel were to gather and listen to the words of the Most High, listen to the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Gather the people together, men, women, and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gate, that they may hear and that they may learn and fear the Lord your power, and to observe to do all the words of the law, to observe all the words of this law. Okay, so they were supposed to get together every 7 years to put it in remembrance, the law, statutes, and commandments, and to instill the fear of the Lord unto all the people, man. So it says here, and that their children, which have not known anything, may hear and learn the fear of the Lord, your power, as long as ye live in the land whither ye go over Jordan to possess. So that was a thing, I believe, that was not done, or was not done properly. The fact that every 7 years Israel was supposed to gather themselves together and to read the law, statutes, and commandments, man, that they may fear and observe the commandments of the Lord, man. That is something, again, that we fail to do, man. Okay, because it's not possible. It should have not been done. It's an error under the sun that an Israelite it's actually an error that an Israelite is walking around this earth without knowing the Most High, without knowing His name, man. That's madness. You see, as it says, dogs. It says what? Let me bring it out quickly. Let me bring it out quickly, Israel. It says here in Isaiah 1:3, the ox knowing his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people does not consider. That is like, to be lost at that level, that's messed up, man. Especially in that time. Okay, in that time, man, even if you have to know your power, man, your power, that's what gives you power. That's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is the reason why we are above these people, man. The fact that we serve the true and living power. Okay, not because of our own strength, not because of our number, not because we're as the numbers of the stars, man. It's because we serve the true living power, man. And the other gods, they're idols. The gods of the nations are idols, man. So now you want to turn and be equal to something that is counted as spittle in the eyes of the Lord, that worship vanity. That's madness, man. It should have never happened. We should have instilled the fear of the Lord into our generation, and Lord willing, that's what's gonna happen, man. Even then, the Lord is, as it is written, we shall not have to teach our neighbors the Lord, because everyone will know the Lord. Okay, that's why again our kingdom is gonna be certified, or it's gonna be set in stone. Will never pass away, because we'll have the knowledge of the Lord, we'll have the fear in our hearts, and we're gonna keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the fullness. All right. So back to Judges 3:7. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgot the Lord their power. Like I said, it should have never been. We should have known all the days of our life. We should have known and feared the Lord, man. Each Israelite. But again, we are our house. Speaking of the 2/3, they're stubborn, stiff-necked, and rebellious. Okay, so they did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgot the Lord their power, and served Baalim in the groves. Therefore the anger of the Lord was kindled, the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them unto the hands of Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. Salakia. And the children of Israel served Cushan-Rishathaim 8 years. And when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel, and went out to war. And the Lord delivered Cushathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hands, and his hand prevailed against Cushathaim. You know, those heathen names, man. So it says here, next verse, and the Lord had rest for Salakia, and the land had rest 40 years, and Othniel the son of Kenaz died. It says here, and the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord strengthened Eglon the king of Moab against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. So again, I believe in those 40 years they weren't doing that, they weren't gathering together to listen to the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. I believe that's when we went off, man. That's when we that's the reason, the root problem of all those of Israel always going back into wickedness, was because they were not keeping the law, statutes, and commandment, and putting them in remembrance, keeping them in your mind. All right, because that's an important thing, man. When you're in this truth, it's not you don't read the Bible once and then you put the book away, man. You always have to constantly put these things in remembrance. You always have to go back into the law. You know, you can't always be in the New Testament. You have to go into the law, so you know what is good and what is evil. But again, we know that the law is from Genesis to Revelation, but you have to keep constantly read, man. You know, that's why you are what you do at the end of the day, man. So if you're serving the Lord, if you're reading, studying, being diligent, it says keep diligence, keep thy soul diligent, lest thou forget. And we're in this flesh, so obviously you're gonna forget, man. I even if I read the Bible probably twice or 3 times, I don't remember everything that's in the book, man. You know, there's brothers that can quote and that can read precepts, but there's always that precept. There's always precepts that you forget, right? Because you can't put everything in your mind, man. We're in this flesh. Right, so that's the reason why you have to keep on studying diligently each and every day, man, to the best of your ability. Okay, so it says here in Judges 3:13, and he gathered unto him the children of Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon the king of Moab 18 years. It says here, verse 15, but when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised them up a deliverer, Ehud the son of Gera, a Benjaminite, a man left-handed, and by him the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon the king of Moab. Jump to verse 29, Judges 3:29. And they slew of Moab at that time about 10,000 men, all lusty and all men of valor, and there escaped not one man. So 10,000 men died by the hand of Ehud. Was it Ehud? By the hands of Ehud and the Israelites. So Moab was subdued that day under the hands of Israel, and the land rested 80 years. Okay, So 80 years, I believe. And after him, Shamgar the son of Anath, which slew the Philistines 600 men, and with an ox god, with an ox god, Salakia. And he also delivered Israel. But then it says what? Then back to madness, back to folly. So that was the end of the chapter 3. But what does it say at the beginning of chapter 4? Judges 4:1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead. So again, the shepherd died, and Israel is back to his folly. Israel is back in the house of mirth. Israel is back with shaking hands with the heathen, right, with the enemy. And the Lord sold them unto the hands of King Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor, the captains of whose was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel all that time. And that's just to say at what level Israel was abased. Everything was upside down at that time, man. But at this time it's even worse. Okay, because it says here in Isaiah 3:12, as for my people, children are the oppressors, and women rule over them. You see, this world pushes feminism, the woman over the men. Okay, this is the turning of things upside down, man. This is the upside down world. Okay, O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy path. Right, to follow after the woman, that leads unto death. Because that's why we got here. Think about Adam. Okay, if he didn't hearken unto Eve, this would never happen. Okay, it says what the beginning sin entered by the woman, and by her we all die. Okay, so if you hearken unto a woman, believe that you can counter death, man. Okay, you shouldn't allow these things to happen, man. But again, that's just to show how. But even then, Deborah was, in a sense, she was righteous. In a sense, she was righteous because she judged Israel in righteousness. Okay, and that was just to show the level of how Israel was abased in that time, man. To put a woman over them, that's crazy. Even she didn't want to go, man. She didn't want to go to war against, But Barak insisted that she come. But again, just to show the importance, how the Lord says that a man is over the woman. I believe in one instance, they name Barak, and they do not speak of Deborah. They speak of Barak, okay, not of Deborah. I believe in the book of Hebrews, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So it says here in Daniel's 9:13. As it is written in the book of law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayers before our Lord, our power, that we might turn from our iniquity and understand thy truth. So again, that's the reason why we're still in this situation this day, because the 2/3 of Israel, they're not turning back to the Lord. They're not seeking to serve the Lord in truth and sincerity. Right? They're following their own way. They're following their own mind. And they're taking sides with the devil. Regardless, if you're not serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you're serving the devil. Okay, it says you cannot have two masters. You either serve the Lord or you serve Mammon, the god of money. And these people, obviously, if you're not serving the Lord, you're serving money. Okay, or you serve your own lust, your own belly. Your own belly is your god. Okay, so it says here in 1 Kings 8:28, ye have, it's like a yet. This is Solomon speaking, aka Yahweh Shai, in the reincarnation. It says here, 1 Kings 8:28, yet have thou respect unto the prayer of thy servant, and to the supplication, O Lord, my power, to hearken unto the cry and to the prayers which thy servant prayed before thee today, that thine eyes may be open toward this house night and day, even towards the place which thou hast said, my name shall be there. And this is really speaking about the Israelites. The name of the Lord is in the Israelites. Okay, Yashar Allah. We are the prince of the power. Okay, and who is that power? It's Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayers which thy servant shall make towards this place. And hearken thou to the supplication of thy servant and of thy people Israel when they shall pray towards this place, and hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, when thou hearest, forgive. So we're basically suffering because of our iniquity. So we're praying unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai that he forgives us and that he comes and delivers us in the times to come. It tells us in 2 Corinthians, so like in 2 Chronicles 6:36, to further prove that point, to add on to this point, Salakia. If they sin against thee, for there is no man which sinneth not. Yeah, we all fallen short from the grace, from the glory of the Lord. And thou be angry with them, and deliver them over to their enemies, as we are today. And they carry them away captive unto the land far off and near. So as we're carried away captive into Babylon, some those the northern tribe was carried to Europe. They were, whatever the slavery that happened, we were carried off into strange lands. It says here, yet if they bethink themselves in the land whither they are carried captive, and turn and pray to thee in the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned, we have done amiss, and have done wickedly, if they return to thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their captivity, whether they have carried them captive, and pray towards their land which thou givest unto their fathers. And that is why we pray unto the east. When we say Kal Halaylam Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, starting camp, we face the east. Okay, so it says here, because that's where Jerusalem is at, near the east. It's towards the east. So it says here, and pray towards this land which thou givest unto their father, and towards the city which thou hast chosen, and towards the house which thou have built for thy name. Then hear thou from heavens, even from thy dwelling place, their prayers and their supplication, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people which have sinned against thee. Now my power, let I beseech thee, thine eyes be open, let thine ears be attent unto the prayers that is made unto this place. So again, our people are like I read before. It says here, as for my people, children are their oppressors, meaning Esau Edom, because he has no wisdom, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy thy way of thy path. So again, we're not turning the 2/3 of Israel, which is a bigger portion of Israel compared to the 1/3. They're not turning to the Lord, man. Like I said, if a sinner repents and turns to the Lord rejoices in that, man. And like I said, we are all sinners. We were all at one point walking in the ways of the Gentiles, fulfilling the lust of the flesh. But now the Lord called us out of it. The Lord put us in remembrance that He is our power, and we have to serve Him. Okay? The Lord made us understand that because of our transgressions and disobedience, we are in the lower state today. Because we were supposed to be above these nations forever. But because of our iniquity, we are the tail and not the head. But now turning back to the Lord is going to establish us above these people, man. It's going to give us an immortal body. And more, man. Things that we cannot even fathom. Okay? So that being said, we have to turn to the Lord and serve Him with all our minds, all our hearts, all our soul, man. To give it all for the Lord, man. As it says, as it was in your mind to go straight from the Lord, seek Him 10 times more. Strive for the truth even unto death. This is the level of servitude that the Lord is expecting from us, man. To even put our life down for this truth. Okay? To put our life down for Yahweh Shai as He has done unto us, that we may obtain a crown of life. Okay? And ultimately, the 2/3 will not do so, and they will have to be judged with the heathens, pertaining to Zechariah 2:8. Let me bring it out quickly, just so I don't butcher it. I believe it's 2:8. Zechariah 2:8. No, it's 8 and 9 then. 9 and 8. No, 11 and 8. Salakia. No. Bear with me, Israel. 13 and 8. Let me see. Yeah, Zechariah 13 and 8. Salakia. So Zechariah 13 and 8, it says, "It shall come to pass that in the land, said the Lord," meaning Babylon the Great, aka America, "said the Lord, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." So that's the 1/3, and that's pertaining to the 1/3 in Babylon. Those that will be delivered from the nuclear missiles. I will bring the fire. I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, "This is my people," and they shall say, "The Lord is my power." So this is the 1/3. Again, they're gonna believe in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. They're gonna call upon it, and they're gonna serve Him in truth and sincerity, even before the nuclear missile comes. This is why we're making our calling and election sure, by serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and doing these videos, going out in the highway and byways, reading and studying, making sure that we're moving in the fear of the Lord, making sure that we're serving Him the way that pleaseth Him, okay, so that we may so that we may obtain salvation. Okay, like I said, make your calling and election sure. Okay, and that's something that the 2/3 will not do, and that is why they're going to be destroyed on this side. Okay, so that being said, this was a similitude of the last days, how the 2/3 know not the Lord. Okay, they forsake the Lord and turn unto idols. That we're just coming back from these wicked days. People still have their Christmas trees up. People still worshiping, still shopping in mirth, serving Baal, serving what's his name, Serapis Christus. They're still worshiping all sorts of madness, and forsaking the Lord. That's why the Lord has to come with fire and cleanse this place, for the atrocities and abominations done therein, and establish righteousness on the earth, because the earth is groaning. The whole creation is mourning. The whole creation is waiting for righteousness to be established on this earth. All right, so keep praying, keep pushing forth the name of the Lord. Be not ashamed of this gospel. Be not ashamed of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in this wicked and filthy generation. Right, call upon His name. Keep praying, keep seeking the Lord, and He'll be nearer than He's nearer. Salvation is nearer than we believe. Right, Lord willing, this is the hopeful year where all the prophecies come to pass. So regardless of what happens, keep pushing forth the name, keep pushing forth this truth, right, until the return of Yahushai. With that being said, I hope this lesson was edifying. Until next lesson, DTA Ababa Kwam Yasha'Allah. Kahalaylam Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kodash. Salak, I'll do that again. Kahalaylam Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kodash. Salutation, salutation, salutation. DTA Ababa Kwam Yasha'Allah. Until next lesson, Shalom.